parents are the first teachers of faith for a child, and so it is the parents' influence on the child, especially in the field of spirituality and religion. It definitely has an important role in promoting spirituality and religious life in the life of a child. And so one of the main reasons why vocations are not growing in the United States is the families or the parents have stopped giving a good example and witness to their children in faith. And so that's one of the main reasons why we don't see too many vocations to priesthood and religious life.
There's an immense continuity from the time of Abraham on to our day, and the way that God has unfolded His plan of salvation for us. And so as we look to the Gospels and we look to the way that Jesus established Peter as the head and commissioned him, ordained him as the head of the church. And then after the death and resurrection of Christ, and the disciples had been caught up in their fear and anxiety and concern of what would happen to them, but instead of them remaining in their fear, being paralyzed in their concerns, the Holy Spirit made a visit, and this church was established, and the disciples become the apostles, which were maybe the bravest men of all time.
Families have to be a good witness to their faith during this year of faith. First of all, making Sunday Eucharist an important part of their family life. Secondly, praying Rosary together. Thirdly, trying to attend all the programs that are provided by the parishes, and also trying to learn more about the faith by studying privately at home, and there are so many resources available nowadays, and also by living the faith, being a good witness in the family, in the neighborhood, in the community. That also has an important role to play in recovering our faith.
Well, I hope that as people dig into become interested, maybe there'll be a heightened sense of curiosity about how this happened. I mean, if we grow up in it, which I didn't. I came late. I was 55 when I became a Catholic, but I had been thinking about it for a long time, and what made me wonder about it was an amazing man, Pope John Paul the Second, and I became envious of him as a Protestant. I had a case of Pope envy, and I thought, man, how nice that would be to be in a church that had authority and a teaching authority and a structure, and come to appreciate that the hand of God, the Spirit of God, had to be within it, that structure, to maintain it through all the pressure and those pressure things I talked about, and through all the centuries, and to be maintained to this day. And I thought, wow, that's something I really come to envy, and it helped me, kind of prodded me along to go ahead and make the decision to make the change and become a Catholic. And it was through that growing sense of curiosity that led me from one thing to the other. And so I think it'd be good if we just had a growing sense of curiosity and say, I want to know more about this. How in the world this thing could be around this long when there's no other institution in the history of the world that's ever survived even close to the time that the Catholic Church has been preserved and been truly a light on a hill. The bushel was removed and the light has shone for 2,000 years, and the Catholic Church has been there through plagues and through other times of disease and famine, and set up hospitals, the first hospitals, universities, places of learning and science, and all the rest that it does through helps and charities in various places of the world. It has been a source of light and life and healing and welcome, and so that how in the world is this all here, and how has it been preserved for this long? And if we do that, we feel more, maybe more of a connection. You know, where Catholic becomes more than something we just do once a week, or special days, holidays, or the holy days of obligation, or whatever. We have baptisms or weddings or something, but it becomes a part of our everyday life, and we become thinking. We become Catholic in our thinking, and that was an early on goal of mine when we joined the church, was to think Catholic, when I thought of life and people that I maybe could help or whatever in my conversation, and whether I'm kind or not, or how I address people and respect people and those things, is to have a sort of a Catholic perspective or an orientation in all my life. I'm well away from that, achieving that goal, but at least we can keep striving, and I guess if we end up fully there, that's called holiness. So.
Faith is hopeful.
Faith is infinite.
Faith is confidence.
Faith is blind trust.
Faith is everlasting.
Faith is believing.
Faith is kind.
Faith is holy. Faith is genuine. It's the most important part of the Christian life.